politely turn over to the Elon Musk of hospitality and travel, as we like to call it, and the Good Morning Hospitality crew. We have Mr. Michael Ross, who is the founder and CEO of Bidroom. We all know and love, and I think Claudia's presentation was perfect to set us up to talk about subscription models and travel. And once again, Michael, it is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing today?
Perfect. I'm good. And I think this presentation, Claudia, was a perfect start actually for me. Actually, she did the introduction to my story, so it couldn't be better. So thank you, Claudia, so much. And indeed, to answer her question, and what the question was from the audience, is about this perks, right? That's and then I go to my presentation. But the question really makes sense, and what was we're struggling with as well. Like, how can you deliver whole year long value? And indeed, by offering perks, a lot of partnerships, giving much more value, it helps you a lot. And during this presentation, I'm going to share my screen. I'll tell a bit more how we did it, also journey where we went, and also, of course, more about subscriptions. And again, thank you, Claudia and Lauren, for the amazing presentations before. Before that, I want to just talk about more the existing trends, what you see in the industry now, what is moving. You see that the distribution is changing. You see last year, also for Bidroom, we had the biggest growth ever. You see hotels choosing new distribution partners, think about new subscription models, for example, as there's mentioned, different loyalty programs. They're automating more personalization. Sustainability is more important than ever. For example, today with the Bidroom team, we planned 30 trees. And in general, I think it's super important to have those things always in mind. You see, of course, now this is pretty obvious. People traveling much more domestically than before. It's also nice to see your own country. Digital nomads are increasing. Also, I saw the trends yesterday during Skiff, where I was giving a presentation. And also digital nomads are increasing a lot. And also you see that indeed business travel will be less, probably 1/3 of the industry might be less. Of course, one example is, of course, is the I Meet Hotel conference. Normally we organize it in person. This time we had to move it to an online, but it's great to have you all here. I personally think that the winners at the end will be the chains. You see that they're building new loyalty programs. They have an existing user base. They have much more expertise with how to manage their rate plans, etc. So I think they can come out stronger. You still see also in the media, they're still opening hotels or individual hotels to become branded. So I think they can come out stronger. Unfortunately, you see that the independent hotels, they have more difficulties. So sometimes they're family owned. They not have big financial resources, so they might lose a lot. Again, subscription-based marketplaces become super popular. Yesterday, the Skiff conference was only about loyalty and paid subscriptions. Story of Claudia was around the same topic. You saw the TripAdvisor, announced TripAdvisor Plus. Many others started in this industry. It's something what we foresee, and it's more booming than ever. And again, I think the traditional travel agencies, they have it difficult. One of the largest from the Netherlands, actually a few days ago, they become bankrupt. So you see there's a lot of things happening in the industry, but also it's give you a possibility for change. I think if hoteliers, people in the industry think creative, it's also a time to push the reset button. You can think about your acquisition, maybe change them, think about your distribution channels, your revenue strategy. So, but also I think it's really important to look at your current partnerships. Can you help each other again to come back stronger? Because it's going to be difficult, and we'll all need each other in these difficult times. You saw as well that hotels and they're experimenting, and I really like that the hotels are experimenting. I think they also should all do. You see their long stay rates, especially in the vacation rental, does quite well. You see indeed flexible rates, day use, etc. Those things also become now popular. We'll see how we end in the future, but I think, for example, long stay rates, especially combined with digital nomads, could be something new. You see flexible rates, maybe working partly from home, sometimes maybe a few hours from a hotel, instead of booking directly for a day. So you see more flexibility there. I think it's really important. And you see also it's moving actually from transactions more to relationships. And I think also that's the part of the new distribution strategy. And you can see more agile models are more popular. You can see you just actually can change quicker. I'm writing here the commission models come to an end. Does it will be on a short term? I don't think so. But at the end, you will see it moving. You see companies changing. You see that the OTA is sharing less and less with the meta search, because they're looking, and the meta search has to use different kind of income streams. Again, sustainability is super important, but also in business models, a revenue model like we do, subscription model, makes sense. That's why more companies go into the vertical. You saw, Claudia already mentioned how profitable it can be to have a subscription model. Recurring models, also just the way you're just facing, for example, uncertainty during those times. if you know that your customers bringing specific revenue, it helps you a lot. And I think the most important as well, by having a subscription model or loyalty program, you have a relationship, and I think it's the best way to rebound from this difficult time. If you're looking at paid subscriptions in the industry, I'm happy that Claudia didn't mention examples, so I'm more than happy to do. Of course, don't forget Bidroom. I will tell you more about it in a second. But you also see the launch of TripAdvisor Plus. A lot of people talk about the industry, which is, to be honest, pretty identical as we are offering. So discounts on your hotel stays, extra perks, etc. So I'm happy that they launched it actually, because it gives much more awareness actually for subscription models in the industry. I'm happy we have this head start in front of them. Also, what I shared yesterday, we have hotels directly connected. We have much more hotels on board directly contracted. So, but I'm more than happy that there's competition. I think it's really great. It's out there. You also see hotel chains are experimenting with different business models. For example, Citizen M, and they're more out there that you're paying a fixed fee, and in return you can have a large numbers of hotels on board. What is really important in the membership economy, because I personally think it's changing. We all know the Spotifys and Netflix and everything out there. What is really important is the content. If you're looking at Netflix, you're expecting constantly value, and I think it's all really important in a subscription model. You keep delivering new value constantly, and it's the same with Netflix. At the end, you're just expecting new series, but also the right series out there. But the music, the same. Spotify is focusing on music lovers, where we do focusing on travel lovers. And it's really important that you see the right artist, or the one you're looking for, your favorite band or your favorite DJ. So it's really important that they have the right content there. And that was also important for us. We didn't focus directly on the user growth, versus, okay, we really have to focus on the hotels. So if there's any hoteliers in this conference, would be great to have you on board, because we have to do it together. And again, without the hotels, we can't do it. What is the change actually? I always think about when I bought a CD years ago, you went to the shop, you pay €10, you get a CD with 18 songs. This is changing. You're owning the CD. Now you're paying, for example, for Spotify, you're paying €10 per month, and you have unlimited access to a lot of songs. You didn't pay it once €10. Well, you did in the past, but now you're paying it every month. So you have recurring payment, subscription. It means also you're creating a relationship. And I think this relationship is really important. You see, if you go back, for example, to Spotify, they recommend your music because they start knowing you. They know you as a person. And I think that's really important. They recommend you this, that there's a new album, there's different kind of music which you love, which maybe is the same kind of style. If you like acoustic music of Ed Sheeran, for example, they might recommend you somebody else, which is great. And you're building a real relationship. You see that that memberships are booming. These are details of last year. If you're looking, I think of 2021, the expectations might be even higher. So you can see people take much more subscriptions. You can see, for example, we did some testing, and if we talk about North America, as this is the destination of the day, you see that North America is converting 5 times more, for example, than the Netherlands, my hometown. So you can see that there's a lot of differences between countries, and it's good if you're implementing a subscription model that you're really checking which market are doing better. What is super important, you have zero friction. We have almost a zero friction policy. And of course, there are always things which you can improve. But there could be things by, for example, changing your payment methods, make sure that you can easily log in, etc. It's really important, otherwise you lose them. For us, it's really important, and I think for all of you, is to have partners. Some of the partners which we have, they are in this conference as well. And it's really important to have partners, because in this way you can also use each other to grow. And I think it's really important. And especially when you're talking about acquisition costs, etc., that you can actually, if one has a relationship, you can use each other's relationship. At the end, I think it's really important to build loyalty, because at the end they become ambassadors. You all see, and then give an example again. For example, Netflix, if you have a great series, you talk about to your friends and family, at the end, Netflix will be promoted by the individual, but by the people by itself. And that's really, really important in a subscription or loyalty program. Again, make it as easy as possible to sign up. Also for the same for hotels, when we built it, Bidroom is okay to join as a hotel. It must be easier. We were testing as a hotel, like how long does it take? And we have former Booking.com employees in our company. How long does it take to subscribe you at your hotel? It took really, really long. And we preload a lot of information, make it easier than ever. So for a hotel, it could take 7 minutes and they're on board. And what is really important in a subscription model, again, first of all, you have to make sure that they are aware and they start using you, they're signing up. We have a free model as well. And they have to become loyal. As soon as they're not becoming loyal, you keep investing in new customers. You keep investing in acquiring them. And then they're churning and you're losing them. Make sure they become a referral, as I just mentioned. Otherwise, you keep investing again in new members. Even looking at Bidroom, we are a subscription booking platform, but it's all about direct bookings. So we connect directly the hotelier with the guest. It means it's their guest. They should know who's staying there, right? So we're not making it as a secret, and we're sharing this. And again, what Claudia said, it's a win-win situation. That's why we're also removing as much channels in between. We connect directly with PMS, but we're not charging any fees in between. For example, what we see with TripAdvisor Plus, they're now connecting to GDS. They have some costs there that they're using third-party inventory, which they can know. For us, it's really, really important to connect with the hotels directly. There's no additional fees for the hotels, no additional fees for us, which means if the hotel's offering, for example, 80 euro for a stay, we're offering 80 euro to the guest, and there's no markup. Again, we don't want to be another booking.com. We're a fully subscription-based booking platform. All decisions which we are making are fully focused and technology-driven. UX is for us is obsessed. We launched our sixth website now. Keep improving the way it's working, and we want to make sure that everything is as smooth as possible and be transparent. I think it's important to be fair and make it indeed easy to use. Quick example, compare with Booking.com. In that case, this is the win-win situation Claudia mentioned. In this case, the guest is paying less. He's paying that in the example, and here's the real example, he's paying 80 euro less. The hotel is making 40 euro more revenue. He's also getting the full details of the guest. Plus the guest has a lot of extras, as we mentioned. So he can save, for example, car rental, tours activities, and much more. And they get upgrades in his hotel. So it's a win-win situation. Our users can use this for free. If they would like to get all full benefits, they can upload to the paid plan, and they get full access to all the perks and benefits. And it's also the perks and benefits are valid the whole year long. So they're related to travel, but also related to other services to make sure they have a value a whole year long, as we mentioned here. So we have a lot of benefits, and I think it's super important to offer more than only travel, to make sure they're keeping your subscription constantly. A lot of hotels already joined our platform. Again, if you're working for a hotelier or for a hotel, it would be great to have you on board. We speak now to some other large chains as well. Many of them already joined, so they already joined our Bidroom Revolution. I know the wheel is waiting. I'm almost finished. You see, we joined a lot of partnerships already. So our biggest growth is coming from partnerships. They're for us really important to growth. We had partnerships with airlines, credit card companies, and they helping us in growing. We did a great partnership with the airport in the Netherlands. For example, we have a great partnership with Avis, and they helping us in growing. And I just want quickly to the presentation because I would like to get some questions. It will be great. And thank you.
I didn't mean to pop in early. I was just trying to accidentally get my stuff organized, but thank you so much.
Okay.
Michael,
I really try to do it as quick as possible because I just realized too much to share, but I just want to try to keep it in time.
No, it's perfect. And I have one question for you mainly that as you're going through that I wanted to ask, and then there's one in the Q&A. And the one question I wanted to ask, because you brought up awareness, and I think this is really key. What have been some of the challenges that you guys have overcome with Bidroom and this type of business model for travelers and hotels from the beginning stages to where you guys are today?
Yeah. Well, Spicy, good question. Well, I think it's this trust part. And I think that's an advantage, of course, that TripAdvisor has there for, I think, 20, 25 years in the market, if not longer. So they have a huge trust, right? People knows them. And that was difficult in the beginning, especially also to get hotels on board, especially 5 years ago when we started. First of all, the subscription model was new. So this was, first of all, was a challenge. And first of all, the company was new. So it was not easy to convince hotels. Now we announced it a few days ago. All hotels are Wyndham are live. We have IAG. We're now onboarding another big, large hotel chain. So I think this trust was really important for us to become where we are now. And this takes years. And this is not built in a few weeks or a few months.
Exactly. And that's why you're the Elon Musk of subscription. We have one question from Patrick who put in, will Bidroom be hooking up to Google free listings?
No. I can clear this answer. It is something because we just only offering our prices and our rates for closed user groups. They're not visible. And also that what we agreed with the hotels. Of course, we look in the potential because Google's offering for information also specific rates if they're logged in. But we want to keep it still exclusive for our members and maybe some partners. And we don't want to show up with our pricing on Google. And again, this is also a choice of the hotels. It's okay, we can give you a lower rate. We have much lower rates than the OTAs, still because hotels are giving this because they don't pay high commissions. But we also agree with them, don't show this in public to avoid any issues with rate parity, etc.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good point. And I think having the exclusivity, like you kind of mentioned, is key. It's going to drive people to want to sign up instead of just being like, why sign up when everyone can be on there, you know?
No,
Um,
fully agree. I think people paying for a service at the end, you want to get them a return, right? And they paying and then $49 fee to get access to those deals. And it's
yeah,
important you really give them some added value and also give them the best deal available, not for everybody else.
yeah, definitely. And my, I guess, second question to you, just to wrap it up, is with connectivity. So we've talked about this a couple times, but what have been some of the things that you guys have realized with connectivity directly to the hotels comparatively to anything else?
Yeah, no, I think this was really important. We started building our connectivity infrastructure over 2 years ago with maybe 30 people dedicated to it. And this is really, really difficult. And we saw, and it was also discussion of the question of Skip yesterday, like TripAdvisor doesn't connect with the hotels directly and they have fees in between. For us, we knew if we want to create the best value for our guests, which means there's no markups, there's no fees, extra high fees for the hotels, we have to build the connectivity. And it takes years. First of all, if we would use bed banks or anything, it will be super easy. We could launch much quicker. But I think it's really important also for long-term strategies. Okay, we just have to connect the hotels directly because at the end, I see it as a community, right? It's a win-win, as Claudia said. At the end, we want to make sure the hotels saving under commission don't pay 18 or 20% commission to an OTA. And that's only possible when you're owning the infrastructure and have the connectivity in place.
Awesome. Great answer. Thank you so much, Michael. And I appreciate getting to see you again.